Hey, it's DJ and Brant for another wonderful day of life and laughter and dialogue. Maybe even some Espanol. You never know. How you doing, DJ?
Muy burrito. I
Taco bueno. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
today my day is so blessed because we've had rain this week and it wasn't bad rain. We got flooded like a year ago, but
Right.
it was just good solid rain and we needed it. And then it went away, so we'd had the sunshine come back. And then
Hey.
internet is back. I lost internet yesterday for 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What's up with that? I lost my interwebs.
yeah, it was really very strange how much you use the internet for, like doing this show. And then
Yeah.
I've got hot chocolate and hot chocolate.
Ooh, sounds good.
I've got a daughter that is just making my heart so proud. And
Oh,
yeah, I love her so much. So uh,
wonderful.
yeah, one of those things I've been praying for. And
Well,
you,
answered prayers are nice, and God hears prayers, and I'm glad that he does.
I
But
know
rainy day, hot chocolate with the internet working, that's a good day, you know.
it is. And it's the littlest things that can make things or break them. And
Oh, no kidding.
uh, I've got a tremendous staff and they're passionate about what we do. We're celebrating our 43rd year in business.
Wow.
Um, so
Wow.
some people don't think it's a big deal, but you and I do.
Well,
And
that is a big deal. Your average business, I know in Oklahoma, your average business, doesn't last more than a year or two.
mhm.
And we've both been blessed. Um,
Yes, and because we're twins and we've
that's
kind of
right.
got parallel about the same years of everything, except you're a lot younger than me.
Hey, you know what? Uh, that's awesome. Because I mean, over 40 years. I mean, I've been doing what I'm doing since '83, and I mean, I've done other things in addition to, but it's
Me too.
nice to have a
Well,
track
and
record.
God gives us different talents, they're spiritual gifts. And if we don't recognize them, like for instance, if I say, Brant, I really like the way you play keyboard, and you go, nah, well, then you're shunning that gift.
Yeah,
And God gave you that gift, and He did because you're a child prodigy musician. He gave you that. So when somebody compliments you on your music, thank you. So I can say, you're welcome, partner. But it's just you have so many gifts and you are a gift. And I
oh
want you to
wow,
focus on that today, Brent Fricker, because of the fact that you're doing so much and I know you're stretching yourself. And I want you to put some back in there because the fact
well,
if you're not careful, you're gonna play out just like that comet. I keep telling you, the comet that keeps going and going and going until he fizzles. And I don't want you to
yeah,
fizzle. I need you.
you don't want me
And
to fizzle.
yeah,
Well, I
Fricker,
appreciate that.
Fricker Fizzler.
Hey, that's a new drink. We ought to find a place in Amarillo that will cure it.
Yeah,
You like the Fricker Fizzler?
yeah.
And
And see him when they can't say it anymore, then that's when they've had too many of them.
that's right. That's right. That's the test. That's the
Yeah.
test. Say it.
See there?
You've had enough. You need to go home. Well, I have a few ideas what I'd put in that drink, but that's a
Yeah.
different story. Well,
I
I
think
appreciate that, but there's something to be said, DJ, about they say you can't have too much of a good thing. Well, you can. You can run yourself in the ground, and I've done that, man, a lot of times. So I'm learning. I'm learning to pace myself in my mid 50s, and it's been a wonderful time. It really,
really,
really has.
yeah. Well, Gene Shelburne is a minister here and one of my favorite people. And he always says, well, it's not the 10 suggestions, it's the 10 commandments. And
That's right, Gene.
one of them is the Sabbath day. And
Ah,
you can take a Sabbath day any day of the week you want, but just keep it. And the reason why is you have to chill down. Just like if you drove your car nonstop, eventually it'll wear out,
Yeah.
but if you park it in the garage for a day, it's going to do better. And the same thing, I have found that I take a Sabbath every weekend,
Yeah.
but my mind gets a chance to relax. And then I remember all the stuff I forgot to do because I was going so fast. So then that way I can make a list and then I
Uh-huh.
start on the new week getting those things done that I was supposed to have done the week before. But speaking of keeping you running, um, I mentioned it on the e-blast this week that this Friday at Synergy, you're going to have another gathering. You want to tell us about
Yeah,
it?
it's going to be amazing. Of course, Ron Till, been around the world with that guy. He prays for people. He has incredible stories. He's seen miraculous things in his life. He's not a sensationalist, but he's just a real guy. Mayor Cole Stanley, you'll probably see him too there, but Ron Till, the real deal is what Mayor Cole Stanley calls him. We've met with the mayor several times too, and just good people, coming together and supporting each other. But yeah, there's going to be music, worship. There's going to be people being encouraged, fantastic stories. And I have seen with my own eyes things that doctors can't explain. But it's just great people coming together. It's not a certain church, not a certain denomination, it's not a certain ministry. It's just great people coming together. And Ron's doing these gatherings all over the country. He's doing it in Amarillo and Midland and Coleman, Alabama. That was the kind of the mothership, so to speak, about 10 years now. And then Destin, Florida, just opened up. And then Ivan Tuttle. If anyone watches Sid Roth, Ivan Tuttle, author, speaker, who's been on Sid Roth, he died. He actually died and went to hell, saw hell, saw heaven, came back to live to tell the tale, changed his life.
Remember you
And
mentioning.
yeah, but he's going to be there. Ivan Tuttle's going to be there, and all weekend too. But Friday night Synergy at 7 o'clock, right there in Amarillo, a great place to be. And then there will be some other meetings too. That if
They
you
are
go,
welcome partner sponsors, by the way.
yes, there you
Yeah.
go. Synergy are welcome partner sponsors. Great facility, great location, great parking. Even the rooms we use are soundproof. So while we, have great sound in there, the outside sound is not coming in, and vice versa. But it's just a great time. It's so unique. But if you are a reader of the Bible, it's not unique at all. It's actually how it all started in the first century, and before Constantine, brought them out of the streets and out of the marketplace and into churches. They were meeting everywhere in the Roman Empire, and it was an exciting thing. And people, they were known by their love for one another. They weren't known for religion. They were known by their love for one another. So it's just a really, really cool thing. So it's kind of funny because boomers were the generation that saw what there's been movies about it, the Jesus people movement. So you kind of feel, hippie-ish in a way. It's not a bad thing, but it's such a free, cool thing. It's a wonderful thing, but it's very, very real. We have seen people, I was playing piano and this beautiful young lady, it was obvious that she was blind in her right eye. After they prayed for her, and there wasn't, and don't let me offend you. I don't want to offend anybody, but there wasn't white suits and glitter and all kind, and everything's about give me your money. No, they're just good people praying for her and Ron as well. Man, she's looking at me through that blonde eye. She can see. And then another lady, she was racked in pain. She could barely walk. Um, Next thing you know, I look over because we start with music and we end with music. Well, I look over and I'm playing. She's putting on her boots. She's running around the coffee shop laps outside. She was a runner. She used to be a runner. She couldn't run for a long time. But it's just so it's supernatural, yet it's supernaturally real. And the only way you can describe it is it's a God thing. It's a God thing. It's a love thing. So thanks for mentioning that. That happens It's
Oh,
synergy.
absolutely. And don't forget the Welcome Partner team's going to be there.
Yes, the welcome partner team. I'm looking forward to
Except
that.
Donna. Donna can't be there. She's got something that has come up that she can't, but she plans on being at the next one. But Mert and I both attended the last one,
Yeah.
and they do healings, and they worked on both of us on our shoulders and stuff, and then uh, we were sitting, and they said, okay, everybody that has high blood pressure, go over to the wall, and they're going to shoot us, you know. Anyway, uh, so Mert says, come on, you're going with me. And oh, yeah, I forgot she knew that. I wasn't going to tell her.
Yeah.
And over there, and but they prayed for you. And when they come around, and the prayer that was said over me was made me cry, because it was something so inner that I thought I was the only one that knew it. And it was very dear
Yeah.
and very positive. It was a compliment to my spirit. So
It's
we
wonderful.
yeah, it's a great chance. And I knew a lot of the people in the room. I didn't know who I was going to be there. I just wanted to be there to support you and in the ministry. And of course, I'd met Ron and Todd and Ricky before, and their spouses.
Yeah.
And spouses are just every much serving as they are.
Well,
Their
and
spouses
yeah,
are right there helping them. Tracy and Trisha, I got to meet them now twice. What wonderful women! And
yeah.
but they are there to serve, and it's a servant's heart, and that's what Jesus taught us to do, is to serve. But
That's right. And yeah.
and it's like you said, it's non-denominational, and it's
Mhm.
just prayer. And I was really pleased how many people that I knew or that I had come in contact with before that I forgot I knew. And it's just a wonderful, loving that is the thing that you feel when you go in there. And it's like going to a welcome partner breakfast, except this is on steroids. And,
W-
but
well,
I
yeah.
want you to know, Brett, that I and I want you to keep this and maybe put it on our YouTube station for sure. But I want you to know, Brett Fricker, that David Lovejoy introducing us 2 years ago
Yeah.
was one of the biggest blessings in my life. I
Oh,
didn't
me too.
know. God had it all arranged for us to meet eventually, but to know what we do for each other, uh, it is just incredible. And I look forward to the times when we do our Facebook Live, because
Me
it's like
too.
the highlight of my week. It's like a supercharged cheerleading session, for each other.
I look forward to it too. And that's what it is for me. And that's why we're doing it, folks. We're not paid to do this. We do this to encourage people. You know, when we first decided to do this, we both agreed, DJ, that people needed encouragement. A lot of people have been beat up out there, and you're not victims, but you need encouragement. Encourage, putting something back in. And these gatherings are so natural. You mentioned the women of these great men. They are great. When I was an adjunct professor, can you believe that?
Yeah.
Tulsa
Only
Community
because you
College.
told me before. I mean, otherwise I'd be,
Well, wait,
but yeah.
Well, 25 years ago now, but Tulsa Community College, teaching intro philosophy and intro to world religions, I realized that the atheists in my room, uh, they were not that because they didn't believe in a God per se. They said they didn't. It was because of what someone did to them, or what happened to them, or a tragedy or a sorrow. A lot of these students tend to view God the way they view their fathers. If their father was loving, then they viewed God as a loving God. If the father was aloof or absent or abusive, then they tend to view God that way too. And when you got down to the heart of it, it had nothing to do with the proofs of archaeology or textual criticism or any of that. It had to do with how they had been wounded. And so these gatherings draw people. A lot of them are in different churches, a lot of them are not. and they're
Mm.
just hungry for the love of God. You know, I was sitting next to my friend. He called himself an atheist Jew. I don't know how you can be a practicing Jew and an atheist, but hey, but he traveled with me and he played the cajon, you know, the box you sit on, and I love him, you know, Larry, and I always thought, why does he want to travel with me during these worship times? Because you know the presence of God is there, and so he just did, and I said, and I sat beside him. We got really close, you know, over several years. I said, Larry, you say you're an atheist? He said, yeah. And I put my arm around him and said, well, brother, um, do you believe in love? He said, yeah. I said, you believe that I love you? He said, yeah. I said, then you believe in God because God is love.
Mm.
When you
Great,
take away,
that's the best way to word it. That is beautiful that you
well,
did that.
God is love, and when you take away all the religion to it, when you take away the things that we've seen that are not the best representations of love, it's amazing what you discover because we're in this together. People just saw this eclipse, and I was talking to the team last night. We went live. I need to bring you into that too sometime. We go live on cable on channel 20 in Amarillo on Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. We go live in real time over 5 cities, TV towers, all major cable networks that carry it, and then online platforms live in real time. So it's local, regional, national, global. It's live in real time. And we were talking about the eclipse, and you know, people just saw something that they could not control with their phones. They just saw something that they could not control. And it was a reminder, perhaps the first time in a long time, that someone else is in control. We are not in control. We couldn't control that eclipse. And no one knew what was going to happen. There was a lot of silliness going on with rumors and fear stuff. But still people are looking upward still, even after the eclipse. And they're looking for answers for their life. And so with all that to say, you can't go wrong with love. And I've seen the love of God from the slums of Cairo, Egypt, to the streets of America, you know, to the pristine villages and castles in Germany, to the hustle and bustle of every kind of nationality you can think of in Paris, where people move and ebb and flow together in such a beautiful way. And so all that to say is, if you are hungry, not for religion, religion didn't save anybody, but if you're hungry for the love that you will discover, then come to Synergy Friday night, 7 p.m. Amarillo, April 12th. And then Saturday and then Sunday, we're having some other gatherings too. And it's really cool, cool B&B place that's huge. And Ivan Tuttle will talk more about his book as well. But it's an interesting time and it's an exciting time, DJ. But it's time people come together because there's no more debate. We are fighting good against evil, and it's not a certain group here and there. There's good and there is evil in the world, and it's not hiding anymore. And but there's a lot of good people, safe people that will love you for who you are, not judge you, and not, you know, want to put shackles of religion on you, but just real people that care about each other. And and they can go back to their churches or their non-churches, you know. I remember in 2000, DJ, you know, I saw all these businessmen leave the church and go to Panera Bread. Then it was St. Louis Bread Company, and they would have little Bible studies and choose which single mom they were going to help that month or which widow they were going to help that month, you know.
Mhm.
And for those who believe in the Bible, I know we didn't plan on talking about this, but you know, perfect religion is what? Helping widows and orphans in their time of need. And there's so many people in Amarillo that help each other. I'm still blown away by the wonderful people of Amarillo that help each other, the widows and the orphans, the disenfranchised. Everyone comes together. And Amarillo is really, when it comes to love, a city on a hill.
Well, Christ taught us to serve others,
Mhm.
and that is what this is about, and that's
Yeah.
what Welcome Partners about. Actually, you
Yeah.
know, is in fact in my signature it says in service, because most of the stuff we do for our community we've given it away. And we love doing that. And the businesses we represent are givers, and they're interested in their community and all of that kind of thing too. So uh, thank you. And looking forward to Friday night, 7 o'clock at Synergy. And uh, it's okay to donate some money to help offset the cost that you are putting out, Brant, on this, but you're not asking for anything. But I know you invest a lot in Amarillo, Texas, and thank you for that.
Well, thank you. And you know, I'm just one small piece of the puzzle. Todd Pitts, Tracy Pitts, you know, Ron Till, so many others, Stephanie and Andy Lemons. You're going to see more of them. Great people. They just want to see people come into love and acceptance and healing for their lives, and emotional healing too. It's the purest thing I've ever been a part of. You know, I've been in ministry. I planted churches. I've been youth, children's worship, pastor, co-pastor. I've done all that. But my experience was such that I thought, I'm going to media and I'm going to the world. I'm going to love them where they are. And that was just my experience. But we support churches and pastors, of course. There's some wonderful ones, you know, all over the place. But you know, for me, I just tend to grow. I guess because my father was a professional bad guy that turned his life around. He was a professional bad guy,
I remember.
and he turned his life around, and then he died. And because he turned his life around and turned his heart towards God, my brother and I's destinies are completely different. And I would have been like him. And but now I'm like him after he changed his life. And so I tend to want to go to the highways and byways. And of course, you know, growing up in the mix, man, you know, blacks, whites, Asians, Chicanos. I mean, they were my brothers and sisters. You know, my first love was a beautiful black girl named Brenda. And I don't say African American, I say black.
Mhm.
My friends I grew up with would punch me in the mouth if I called them African American. They'd say, I'm black and proud, brother. Okay, so you need to educate yourself, folks. Black and proud, and black is beautiful. And all the beautiful races, all the beautiful tapestry of God's tapestry. We celebrate that. We don't tolerate it. And isn't it time? Isn't it time that we come together and celebrate that? So, you know, thanks for giving the time to this. I didn't know we would get to mention this, but at the end of the day, you know, DJ, your networking breakfast with Welcome Partner, it's a fellowship of its own. You know, everyone there feels loved. Everyone there, you know, feels significant because they are. And
Mhm.
it's just interesting. You don't come in it as a business that leads to loving relationships, you know, with your networking breakfast at Red River. You start with love and relationships, and that leads to business, because business is now more relational than it ever has been. It comes down to who you're going to trust. You know, cheap becomes expensive when it has to be redone, when it's done halfway. But when you know somebody and you observe them consistently, you know they'll take care of you well. Then you're getting a great value, business wise and relational wise. And that's, I've always loved how you do your networking breakfast as a Welcome Partner.
Well, thank you.
Here's an Amarillo spotlight for you. Can't beat feeding kids in the Panhandle with Cindy Sheets of Filled with Hope. How you doing, Cindy? Tell us about this upcoming car show.
We are so excited to invite you, Brant, and all the viewers to our fourth annual Cars for Kids and Poker Run on Saturday, April the 20th, Happy State Bank Stadium, just north of Canyon. We will have cars, motorcycles, pickups, you name it. We're going to have it there that day, but we need you there. And it's only $5 at the gate, $10 for a family. So it'll be a great day. Food trucks, vendors too. So I hope you'll join us.
We'll see you then, folks. Go to fillwithhope.org today.
Mushroom burger. I don't eat anything that grows after dark.
Red River Steakhouse serves only the best meat from local Texas ranchers, aged 21 days and cooked to perfection, just the way you like it. Again, it's people like Cindy, you know, David Manley with Pro Lift Amarillo, You're one of the ones who named him the Garage Door Whisperer. I think he was the first one that named him a Garage Door
Well,
Whisperer. But
actually, he just said it, and I made a big deal out of it. He just got
but
up there and said it, and I made it start whispering it.
well,
So,
he and Natasha are so precious, and they do a lot for the community. So, it's people like that, coming together, locking shields. We're stronger when we stand together. And again, just another great business that's represented on the Welcome Partner platform. I mean, of course, hey, we're mentioning these businesses on television, right? And we also do promotions as well. When we talk to David Love, join the chat. Red River, gosh, Will Frost, he's finished his book, Honey Pig. His specially gifted son calls people funny names, and they decided to make a little children's book out of it, The Adventures of Honey Pig. He's the owner of Red River in Amarillo. True success story, started when he was 18 and now he owns it. And you've seen all the innovative marketing with Red River, the graphics, the bull playing guitar, and the live music and all that. Well, they've been with Welcome Partner for a while now.
since
And
he opened,
yeah.
right after he opened is when we started representing him, and it's been such an honor. And he is one of the most flexible business people to work with, because I didn't go in and he's just going to tell me what to do. We worked on it, and I make suggestions and he'd try them out and this and that. And it really made a difference. Uh, it's just a cool story about how he is. And I'll never forget when I first met him, because I went into the restaurant before they opened, and I asked the gentleman that came out of the kitchen, I said, Will Frost? And he points to the door, and it was the freezer door, and out comes Will Frost. And I said, I'll never forget your name.
Isn't that a cool name?
Oh, it is. Yes. And we
Oh
also
man, Will Frost. Well, you just didn't get better than that.
represent Frances Frost, and they're not related. And Frances is a realtor, and we've had her on the show too. So
Wow.
it's just a wonderful world of people that we get to work with. It's a privilege to go to work every day. And I've got internet, hot chocolate, and we had rain this week. And then Friday night, we have Synergy and the Gathering, and a lot of love in the room. And I remember last month when we had one that Saturday morning when I woke up, my face hurt. Why?
Oh,
Because smiling all night
did
long,
you smiling all night long? Isn't
Yeah,
that good?
I broke my face.
So smile so much your face hurt.
Yeah,
Well, hey, a
that
whole
great.
lot of love.
Mhm.
And we love you, and I love you, DJ. And folks, hope to see you at Synergy Friday night, 7 p.m. to meet Ron Till and Ivan Tuttle and the gang. And who knows, you may have a whole new family of friends you didn't know you had.
That's
And
right.
no strings attached. Just be you and come be a part of this. Okay. So we'll talk to you soon.